We're not promoting it right.
It's not fair that I have to have my cat in a cage.
Why you keep carrying that
While
cat
you're
box?
here. Because this is the only way that she could come downstairs. You said
Why did you bring her?
somehow
I did
found
not
cat
ask
hair on
her.
the damn couch.
I
don't know how.
Miami's heat isn't just in the weather, it's inside Trick Daddy's house this time. Fans were left stunned after reports surfaced that Joy, his ex and longtime housemate, walked through the house half-dressed, sparking one of the most explosive confrontations in love and hip-hop. Miami, Season 7. The cameras didn't miss a beat as Trick's voice echoed through the house, frustration and disbelief mixing with jealousy that was impossible to hide. Joy.com, but clearly teasing, claimed she was just comfortable. But for Trick, it was anything but that. Whispers quickly spread online, with fans debating whether Joy was doing it intentionally to get a reaction, or if Trick was overreacting and still emotionally tangled in his past. Social media blew up with clips and memes, turning a simple morning at home into a headline-making spectacle. And now, the question everyone's asking is this. Is Trick Daddy losing his cool because he still loves Joy? Or has living together finally pushed him over the edge? Tonight, we break down the tension, the accusations, and the emotional storm that turned a private argument into Miami's biggest reaction.
On the storage with the rest of your
I'm gonna.
Joy, stop. I'm telling you right now, don't let that cat out. Let me see this.
Okay,
No,
wait.
leave the cat right there.
Already irritated about a few things that had been piling up his busy schedule. Social media chatter and the constant attention Joy seemed to be getting lately. Fans who've been following their story know that their relationship has always been complicated, filled with laughter one moment and arguments the next. They share a history that refuses to fade even when both pretend they've moved on. And that history came rushing back when Joy stepped downstairs wearing something that made Trick stop in his tracks. He froze for a second, trying to decide if he was actually seeing what he thought he was. Joy, looking relaxed and unbothered, walked through the living room in a short robe and a soft smile, holding her cat in one arm like it was just another normal morning. Trick's face tightened instantly. He dropped his phone on the couch and shouted, "Joy, what are you doing?" His tone wasn't playful, it was sharp, filled with disbelief. She looked at him, almost amused, and said, "What? I live here too. Trick, I'm just going to get my coffee." That single line hit him like a challenge. Fans later said online that the tension was so thick it could be felt through the screen. Trick threw his hands up, pacing as he muttered about boundaries, respect, and how Joy loved to test his patience. He called out, "You walking around here like that when people could come over any minute? What if Trina pops by?" Joy rolled her eyes, pouring herself a cup of coffee. "Trina's seen worse," she replied calmly. The audience couldn't help but laugh at her sass. But Trick wasn't in the mood for jokes. He sat down hard on the couch, shaking his head. "You trying to make me look stupid on TV, huh?" he said half under his breath. Joy sighed, walked past him slowly, and said, "You're the only one making yourself look that way, Trick." That comment lit a fire. The argument that followed wasn't just about closet, was about old wounds, about the years they spent trying to make things work and the pain that came when it didn't. Their chemistry was undeniable, but so was the frustration that came with it behind the scenes. Crew members later described the energy in the room as explosive. Trick's emotions were boiling over, and Joy's refusal to back down only made it worse. She had a habit of teasing him when he got worked up, and this time was no different. "You still care too much?" she said softly, leaning on the counter. Trick laughed bitterly. "Care? Nah, I just want peace in my house. You acting like this some bachelor pad?" As their voices clashed, social media clips of the scene went viral almost instantly. Fans began taking sides, some saying Trick had every right to be upset, others claiming he was being controlling. The debate spilled across platforms, turning what started as a personal disagreement into public drama. Hashtags like #Trick and Joy and #MiamiChaos began trending, with fans dissecting every line and glance from the scene. Meanwhile, Joy tried to shift the mood, brushing off the argument with a laugh. You take everything so seriously, she said, petting her cat. It's not that deep. But it was deep for Trick. It wasn't about what she wore. It was about what it represented. To him, it felt like disrespect, a reminder that no matter how much history they shared, she no longer saw him the way she used to. His pride mixed with heartbreak, though he'd never admit it. You know what's crazy? He said suddenly. You act like this house ain't got memories, like everything we went through just vanished. Joy's smile faded for the first time. Memories don't mean ownership, Trick, she said quietly. We both chose to move on, remember? Her tone carried a sting, one that hit deeper than any argument. The silence that followed was thick with unspoken emotions. For a moment, Trick's tough exterior cracked. He leaned back, rubbing his face with both hands. I ain't never said I stopped caring, he mumbled. Joy glanced at him, her expression softening slightly. I know, she whispered, but caring doesn't mean we're still the same. Outside, Miami's sun was blazing, but inside, the house felt cold. The conversation had shifted from irritation to something far more personal. Joy walked over to the couch, sitting at a distance from Trick. You don't have to get mad every time I breathe, she said gently. We can coexist without all this chaos. Trick looked at her, his eyes full of conflict. You say coexist, like that's easy, he replied. You walking around half naked, laughing like we didn't used to share this space in a whole different way. It messes with my head. Joy. She sighed, resting her elbows on her knees. Then maybe it's not me that's the problem. Maybe you're still fighting your own feelings. The line hit him hard, but he didn't respond. Instead, he got up, muttered something under his breath, and walked out to the porch, leaving Joy sitting in silence. Cameras followed him as he lit a cigarette and stared out at the Miami skyline, lost in thought. Fans later said that moment was the most vulnerable they'd ever seen, him no yelling. No jokes, just raw emotion. Joy, meanwhile, stayed inside, sipping her coffee. Her calm demeanor didn't fool anyone. Behind her quiet expression was the weight of years spent in an on-and-off relationship that never truly ended. She knew the tension between them wasn't just about the morning argument. It was about love that never fully healed, pride that never faded, and the cameras that caught it all. And though the house eventually fell silent again, the storm between them was far from over. What fans saw that morning was just the spark of something deeper, a mix of resentment, longing, and unspoken truths that neither Trick nor Joy could escape. The next few hours in the house felt heavy, like the walls themselves were holding on to the tension that had filled the air. Trick had gone quiet after stepping outside, but quiet for him never meant peace. It meant he was thinking too much, pacing back and forth, shaking his head, muttering to himself about boundaries, respect, and how Joy always managed to get under his skin. Every time he tried to draw a line, she crossed it with a smile. And somehow he ended up looking like the bad guy. Inside, Joy had turned on the TV, pretending to scroll through channels. But her eyes weren't really on the screen. She was thinking too, remembering all the times Trick had snapped over the smallest things, only to soften later and joke about it. But this time felt different. This wasn't about a cat or about laundry or even about her outfit. This was about emotions neither of them wanted to admit still existed. When Trick finally came back in, the air shifted. He didn't say a word at first. He just stared at her, his jaw tight, his eyes tired. Joy looked up, ready to say something, but before she could, he blurted out, "You know what? I can't keep doing this." She blinked, caught off guard. "Doing what?" she asked. "This little dance we do," he said, pointing between them. "You living here, walking around like everything's cool? Like we ain't got a whole past that keeps messing up our present." Joy put the remote down slowly. "Trick, I told you this is just temporary," she said. "You wanted me here till I figured things out." His voice rose a little. "Yeah, but I didn't sign up to feel like I'm losing my mind every time you walk through that door." Fans later commented how raw that exchange felt, how it didn't even sound scripted. Joy took a deep breath, her tone soft but firm. "Then maybe the problem isn't me being here," she said. "Maybe it's that you still don't know what you want." He looked at her, his expression a mix of anger and confusion. "Don't tell me what I want," he snapped. "You think you've got me all figured out, huh?" The tension hung between them like smoke. Finally, Joy stood up, crossing her arms. "Look, I didn't come back to start drama. I came back because I needed space." And their voices softened, but the emotional distance stayed. In the background, the sound of Miami traffic filtered through the open window, filling the silence between them. Trix sat back down, staring at the floor. "You ever wonder what went wrong?" he asked quietly. "Like how we went from being each other's everything to..." This Joy didn't answer right away. She looked out the window, her eyes distant. "We stopped listening," she finally said. "You stopped hearing me, and I stopped believing you'd ever change." For a moment, neither of them spoke. The only sound was the faint hum of the ceiling fan and the distant buzz of the city. Trix's eyes softened. "I thought I could make it right by letting you back in," he said. "But now, I don't know if that was a mistake or not." "It wasn't a mistake," Joy said quietly. "It's just complicated." Outside, a car horn blared, breaking the silence. Joy used it as an excuse to move, heading toward the kitchen. She needed something to do, anything to ease the awkwardness. "You want some coffee?" she asked. Trix chuckled bitterly. "You really think coffee's gonna fix this?" "No," she said, "but it's better than fighting." As the hours went by, the cameras captured every lingering glance and every half-finished sentence. Fans watching later said they could feel the pain in both their voices. Trix might have snapped out of frustration, but underneath it all, there was love he couldn't hide. Joy, on the other hand, was holding back her emotions, trying to keep things light, but clearly struggling to stay detached. Later that evening, Trina showed up. She'd heard from one of the crew members that things got heated, and she wasn't about to let it slide. The moment she walked in, her energy filled the room. "What's going on with y'all now?" she asked, looking from Trix to Joy. Both froze like kids caught misbehaving. "Nothing," Joy said quickly, forcing a smile. Trina raised an eyebrow. "Don't play with me? I can feel the tension from the driveway." Trix sighed, rubbing his temples. "She walking around here like she on vacation," he said, "and I'm just supposed to act like it's cool." Trina turned to Joy. "You really doing that?" Joy laughed softly. "Trina, I was just wearing my robe. He acting like I walked through here naked." Trina rolled her eyes. "You know how Trix is. You gotta stop poking the bear." The three of them sat down, the energy in the room still uneasy. Trina tried to lighten the mood. "Look, y'all got too much history to be arguing about house rules," she said. "Either set boundaries or call it what it is." Trix leaned back, muttering, "It ain't that easy." Trina smirked. "It's only not easy when there's still feelings involved." That line made Joy look down, her face suddenly serious. "Trina," she warned, "don't start." But it was too late. The truth had already been said out loud. As the conversation went on, emotions started bubbling again. Trix's frustration turned into silence, the kind of silence that says more than words ever could. Joy's calm exterior began to crack, her voice trembling slightly when she said, "I'm tired of always being the problem." Trina stood up, shaking her head. "Y'all need to figure this out before you both drive each other crazy." She grabbed her purse and headed toward the door, muttering, "Miami ain't big enough for all this drama." When she left, Joy and Trix were alone again, staring at each other. "She's right," Joy said quietly. "We either fix this or end it for good." Trix looked away, his voice low. "I don't know if I can do either." The house fell silent once more, but this time, the silence felt heavier. The tension wasn't just about the morning argument. Anymore, it was about years of unresolved emotions and an uncertain future neither of them wanted to face. The next morning, the energy in the house was strange too quiet for a place that usually buzzed with music. Laughter and the sound of Trix's booming voice. The argument from last night still lingered in the air, thick and heavy. Joy woke up early, trying to shake off the awkwardness, and busied herself making breakfast. She wasn't sure if it was a peace offering or just her way of distracting herself. Either way, the smell of pancakes and coffee filled the kitchen, giving the place a sense of calm that hadn't been there for hours. Trick eventually came down, rubbing his eyes, wearing that same tired expression that said he hadn't slept well. When he saw the food laid out, he hesitated for a second, then sighed. "You cooking now?" he said quietly, his tone caught between sarcasm and gratitude. Joy didn't look up. "Someone has to keep this house from turning into chaos," she said. There was no venom in her voice, just exhaustion. He sat down, staring at his plate for a moment before finally speaking. "You ever wonder if we just too different now?" Joy glanced up, her eyes searching his face. "Maybe we've always been different," she replied. "We just didn't care before." Fans later called this breakfast scene the calm before the emotional storm, and they were right. Because what started as quiet tension was about to spiral back into drama once again. Trina called while they were eating. Joy answered, putting her on speaker. So Trina's voice crackled through. "Did y'all kill each other yet? Are we good?" Joy rolled her eyes, a small smile tugging at her lips. "We're good, for now," Trick muttered under his breath. "Barely." Trina heard it and immediately jumped in. "Boy, stop. You know you love her. Y'all need to quit acting like enemies when everybody can see the chemistry." That one word chemistry made both Trick and Joy freeze. They didn't deny it, but they didn't admit it either. Instead, Joy changed the subject. "Trina, don't you have something better to do than meddle in our business?" Trina laughed. "Not when y'all giving me season finale drama this early." After hanging up, silence fell again. But it wasn't the angry kind this time, it was that awkward silence where both people know there's more to say but don't know how to start. Joy finally broke it. "Trina's not wrong, you know? We can't keep pretending this is just about living arrangements." Trick looked up slowly, his expression unreadable. "What's it about then?" "Us," Joy said simply. "What we used to be, and what we never really stopped being." For a long moment, he didn't respond. Then he leaned back, letting out a low laugh that sounded more like a sigh. "You saying you still love me?" Joy didn't flinch. "I'm saying I never stopped caring. There's a difference." The camera caught the flicker in Trick's mix of pain and longing. Fans who watched the clip later would dissect every look, every pause, wondering if that was the moment he realized he wasn't over her either. But just when the tension felt like it might finally break, there was a knock at the door. Trick frowned. "You expecting somebody?" Joy shook her head. When Trick opened the door, it was Michael Blackson, loud as ever, grinning like he owned the place. "Yo, what's good, Trick? I brought some wings." The timing couldn't have been worse. Michael's loud energy instantly disrupted the fragile calm. Joy tried to force a polite smile, while Trick looked like he was about to lose it. "Bro," Trick said, "you can't just show up unannounced." Michael laughed. "Man, relax. I heard y'all were having relationship therapy in here. Figured I'd lighten the mood." Joy couldn't help but laugh a little, even though the situation was ridiculous. "Therapy. That's what we need," she said under her breath. Trick shot her a look. "Don't start." For the next half hour, Michael joked nonstop, trying to break the tension, but it only made things weirder. When Trina arrived soon after, things got even more chaotic. "Oh Lord," she said the second she saw Michael. "Please tell me he's not part of this mess." Michael laughed. "Girl, I'm the peacemaker." Trina smirked. "No, you're the chaos." Eventually, the group settled in the living room. Trina looked between Joy and Trick and sighed. "Y'all been together for years, even when y'all weren't together. At this point, it's not about love, it's about ego." Joy nodded slowly. "She's not wrong." Trick rubbed his head, clearly uncomfortable. "You really think this is about ego?" "Yes," Trina said bluntly. "You can't stand the thought of her moving on, and she can't stand the thought of you not caring. That's why y'all keep dancing around it." Call raised his hand dramatically. "As the honorary therapist, I agree." Everyone laughed, but the laughter didn't last. Because beneath it all, Trina's words stung. Joy spoke quietly after a long pause. Maybe I do care too much. Maybe I shouldn't have come back. Trick's head snapped up. Don't say that, he said. This house always feels different when you're not in it. The softness in his voice caught everyone off guard. Even Trina's eyes widened a little. Fans would later replay that line over and over, claiming it was one of the most genuine things Trick had ever said on camera. The tension melted for a brief moment as Joy smiled faintly, her guard dropping. "You don't mean that?" she whispered. "Yeah, I do," he replied. "I just don't know what to do with it." The emotional intensity was interrupted yet again. Joy didn't respond right away. She sat beside him, close enough that their arms brushed. "Trick," she said softly, "we can't keep doing this push and pull. It's breaking both of us." He nodded, his eyes glistening just slightly. "I know." Outside, the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows through the windows. The whole room seemed to glow in that soft Miami twilight, the kind of light that makes everything look like a memory. For the first time in a long time, there was no yelling, no sarcasm, no pretending. Just two people sitting in silence, finally acknowledging what they'd both been too scared to say out loud in that stillness. Something shifted, not quite resolution, but not chaos either. Just a fragile understanding that maybe, despite everything, her story wasn't over yet. The next day, Miami woke up to more than just sunshine. Social media had exploded overnight. Clips from Trick and Joy's emotional conversation were everywhere. Fans were posting reactions, dissecting every moment like it was the most dramatic scene of the season. Hashtags like #TrickandJoyForever and #ToxicLove started trending before breakfast. Even the blogs picked it up, calling it the royest moment in Love and Hip Hop Miami history. Joy scrolled through her phone, her emotions mixed between embarrassment and confusion. Seeing their private tension turned into public entertainment made her uneasy. "They're turning our pain into content," she muttered under her breath. Trick walked in, holding his coffee, clearly just waking up. "That's what they do," he said. "We've been on TV long enough to know this ain't about healing, it's about ratings." She looked at him, her voice quiet. "But what about us? Do we just keep letting the world in, even when we're falling apart?" Trick sighed, setting his mug down. The world was already in it when we signed those papers. Now they just waiting to see who breaks first. The weight of that truth hung heavy between them. Joy turned off her phone and walked outside to the patio. The Miami breeze brushed against her skin as she stared out at the water, trying to breathe past the noise. Behind her, Trick followed quietly, almost hesitant. "Look," he started, "I ain't trying to be the bad guy here. I just don't know how to stop fighting with you." Joy turned around, her eyes tired but sincere. "Maybe stop trying to win every argument and just listen." For a moment, Trick didn't say anything. Then he sat beside her, elbows on his knees, staring out at the same horizon. "You know what's funny? I've been in this house for years, and it never felt like home till you walked back in. But now that you're here, I don't know how to keep it from falling apart." Joy looked down, her voice almost breaking. "You can't fix something if you keep pretending it ain't broken." That line would later become one of the most quoted lines from the episode. Blogs, memes, even fan edits started using it over emotional music. But in that moment, it wasn't television, it was raw truth between two people trying to hold on to something slipping away. Later that afternoon, Trina showed up again, her expression serious this time. "We need to talk," she said, walking straight in without knocking. "People are saying y'all staged that whole thing for clout." Trick frowned. "Staged? For what? We ain't actors." Trina crossed her arms. "You might not be, but reality TV don't care. They're already spinning it like you two just doing this for storyline." Joy looked stunned. "That's crazy. They saw what happened? That was real." Trina nodded, her voice softening. "I know, but perception is everything, sis. And if you don't get in front of it, they'll control your story for you." The room went quiet again, the reality of fame pressing down on them. Joy finally spoke. "So what do I do, Trina? Go online and tell the world I'm not acting." "They don't care. They want chaos. Trina sighed. Then give them truth instead. Let them see the real you. Post something honest before the show turns it into something else. Joy thought about it for a while. That evening, she posted a short clip on her Instagram story, no makeup, no filters. People think what they see on TV is the whole truth, she said softly. But sometimes what hurts the most doesn't make the cut. Love isn't perfect. It's messy. It's loud. But it's real. Within minutes, the clip went viral. Fans flooded the comments, praising her for being genuine. "This the realest thing I've seen all season," one comment read. Another said, "Joy's too real for this show." Trick watched it later that night. He didn't say anything at first, just nodded to himself. Finally, he walked into the living room where Joy was sitting. "That post was powerful," he said quietly. "You ain't have to do that, but you did." She shrugged. "I was tired of being misunderstood." He looked at her for a long moment before speaking again. "You know, I always thought showing feelings was weakness. But watching you say all that, I realize maybe I'm the one that's been hiding." Joy smiled faintly. Maybe it's not too late to stop. Before he could respond, there was a knock at the door again, this time production crew. One of the producers stepped in, holding a clipboard. "We're setting up for tonight's dinner scene," she said. "Trina, Michael, and Suki gonna be here. Just try to keep it natural." Joy groaned under her breath. Natural. After all this? Trick chuckled dryly. "Guess we better get ready for round 2. By the time evening rolled around, the living room was lit with soft golden lights. Trina, Suki, and Michael Blackson all arrived, full of energy. Suki wasted no time. "So," she said, settling on the couch, "y'all back together or what?" Everyone laughed, but the question hung in the air like smoke. Trick leaned back, smirking. "Depends who you ask." Joy shot him a look, her tone sharp. "Don't start." Michael clapped his hands. "Nah, we need answers." "Miami, wanna know?" The laughter faded when Joy suddenly stood up, her expression serious. "You know what? Maybe it's time we stop pretending we're okay. This ain't about TV anymore. This is real life." The room went silent. Trina's face softened. "Then say what you need to say, sis." Joy turned to Trick. "I came back here thinking maybe time would fix us. But time doesn't fix people. It just shows who's willing to change. And I've changed, Trick. I just don't know if you have." Trick looked stunned for a moment. Then his voice dropped low. "I've been trying, Joy. I just don't know how to love you without fighting you." For a second, neither of them spoke. The whole room watched, the cameras rolling, the energy electric and raw. Even Suki, known for her loud energy, stayed quiet. Joy's eyes filled with tears she tried to hide. "Then maybe loving me means learning to stop fighting." Trick stood up slowly, closing the space between them. His voice softened. "Maybe loving you means learning to listen." The cameras captured the moment perfectly, the tension, the pain, the hint of hope. It wasn't dramatic yelling this time. No plates flying, no insults. Just truth. And as the music swelled in the background, Miami watched two people who'd been through everything finally let their walls crack. If only for a moment. What a roller coaster this has been, right? From shouting matches to real tears, Trick and Joy's story in Love and Hip Hop Miami has left everyone with mixed emotions. Fans can't stop debating. Was it just another reality TV stunt? Or are we finally seeing two people facing the truth behind all the drama? Whatever side you're on, one thing's for sure, emotions ran high, feelings got exposed. And Miami felt every second of it as the episode closed. Fans flooded social media saying this season feels deeper than ever. Some say Joy deserves peace after years of tension, while others believe Trick is finally learning to open up. But what's really going to happen next? Will this moment bring them closer together, or is it the beginning of the end? Love and Hip Hop has never been shy about blurring the lines between love and chaos. And this scene might be one of the rawest moments yet. So what do you think? Was Joy right to call out Trick? Or did the cameras just catch two people at their breaking point? Drop your thoughts in the comments because we know Miami fans always have opinions. And if you want to keep up with all the wild twists, emotional confrontations, and shocking reveals from this season, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss a single update. Trust me, if this is how things are going now, the next episode is about to blow everything up even more. Stay tuned because the Miami drama never sleeps. Stay tuned because the Miami drama never sleeps.